Cześć, dzień dobry. My name is Agata. Welcome to Polish Mastery. So I've decided to make today's video because I've had some of you, quite a lot actually, asking about this Polish vowel L and what is happening to it if it's at the end of the word. But let's start with pronunciation. So L, L. To help especially English speakers, I hope this will be helpful as a phonetic sample of the sound. L, L. So also again try to follow my mouth movement. So because it's based on E, so I'm going wide and then going back. So it's like L, L. Okay, I hope that's helpful. All right. So what happens to this vowel if it's at the end of the word? Well, technically it should become E, as if I took away this little tail, right? E. So if we have it at the end, it should sound like E. It loses all that fancy sounds. It just becomes plain E at the end. So if I want to read this, which means I'm happy to see you. First with my normal speed, alright? That would be cieszę się, że cię widzę. Cieszę się, że cię widzę. I'm happy to see you. Sometimes, however, you might hear Polish speakers pronounce this a little bit. It's okay for example, for actors who play especially classics, like classic plays, to slightly pronounce this but the rule says if it's at the end, it should sound like E. That's the rule. Reality is some Polish people do pronounce it a little bit. You should never go like overboard with it because you will sound very pretentious, okay? And we don't want that. So I would never read this as cieszę się, że cię widzę. That's way too much. You could sometimes get away with cieszę się, że cię widzę. A little bit of it. Some people might say it like that, but if you may, try to go for E. Cieszę się, że cię widzę. Okay? Sometimes, especially teachers, tend to say this L when we talk first person with the verb conjugation to distinguish between the third person. Okay? So, they might say ja piję, however, on, ona, ono, pije, just to kind of help you learn the conjugation, memorize it. But the reality is most Polish people would say both of them exactly the same. Ja piję, on, ona, ono, pije. I'm drinking, he, she, it is drinking, pije, pije. It sounds the same. Priests, when during a mass, they tend to overpronounce this L, and I've noticed that it sometimes happens in like YouTube videos when, and I'm not talking about YouTube videos to learn Polish, but just like, for example, I watched a YouTube video on how to make chicken soup by a Polish person, and I realized that that person really strongly pronounced this L, basically with every single word. And I think it's because when you feel watched, the same way the priests feel, or when you give a speech, then you tend to kind of like overpronounce it because you want to be heard properly. So that's That's what happens quite a lot. And another thing, sometimes for emphasis, especially children tend to overpronounce it. So they might say chcę. Let's say cukierka. I want a candy, right? Chcę cukierka. Usually, when they asked you and you said, no, you can't have it, then they go like, chcę, I want. So it's this emphasis and kind of this frustration as well that they can't get it. Then you might hear it being overpronounced. But the rule says, if it's at the end, it should sound like e. So, chcę cukierka. Ja piję. Ona pije. Cieszę się, że cię widzę. Okay? I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Pa pa!